All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, July 27th. We have a small MLB slate to jump into today. In fact, it's only 5 games, and 2 of the games are made up in a doubleheader, so the same exact matchup. But nonetheless, we're going to go through each of those games. I'm going to give you my lean or leans on the games as always, but my final plays, those will be in the pinned comment. And yesterday, we bounced back in a big way with a 3-1 night, and I chuckle at it. The only loss we had was the mega juiced -160 Rays money line pick that we threw down there. And I almost didn't even want to play that because it was so juiced. But the Rays are blacklisted until further notice. Like, this team stinks right now, and I just don't get it. But in terms of our wins, let's talk about the positive. We had the Twins team total over 4. I wanted to pull the trigger on over 4.5 for plus 115. I just couldn't get myself there. Wish I did because they creamed this line. But nonetheless, that was a win. We'll take profit. Red Sox money line. Plus 140, they come back and win, and so do the Cubs in a comeback fashion. They win for us, so we had to sweat it out. But we did take a 3-1 night and take profit last night. Took some from the books, so we're happy about that. And then our ride of the day coming in from the man Taylor here. Ride of the day, St. Louis and Arizona. Murphy, that one cashes. Boom. So our ride of the day is back in the win column. If you guys do want to be the ride of the day, all you got to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments. I'm putting my money where your mouth is, and I'm jumping on board with one person's pick, and I'm going to give you guys a shout out, win or loss, in the next video. If you win, we get to celebrate. We do the cheering, you know, that type of thing. If you lose, you got to face the womp womp. So, public humiliation. Yikes. But guys, go ahead and drop me a lock in the comments, and I'll find one and jump on board with one today. Before we get into today's slate, I did want to talk to you guys about the Fade Me store. We got a ton of new products over there, and we're adding more by the day, a lot planned here. And you can get 20% off with the code 20FADE. And like I said, we have a bunch of products right now that are new and live, some of which are just, basketball jerseys, t-shirts. We do have the new hoodie here, the Fade Me Premium Football Hoodie, getting ready for football season, and this Fade Me Catch Fire jersey that is absolute fire, no pun intended, guys. I love the basketball jerseys that we have over on the site. If you do want to support, if you do want to pick something up, I am going to be refunding one order today. We did it yesterday. We only got a handful of orders, so shout out to Glenn, I believe your name was. Got your order for completely free. 2 items too, so shout out to you. If you guys do place an order, I'm going to be going through the orders today and picking one person, just refunding the order, and I'll let you know, that you got it for free when I go ahead and reach out via email, whatever email you put on your order. But nonetheless, guys, let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 of this slate here. And I'll tell you what, spoiler alert, these first 2 games, I'm really only going to talk about it in general because I don't love doubleheaders. You guys should know that. I think weird things happen in doubleheaders. The only pick that I'm really considering here, my only lean on all 4 of the, or I guess all 2 of these games, but all 4 of these teams in this doubleheader would be the over in game number 1. The only thing that might keep me off of it is one, it's the Tigers, and you can't really trust them to score a bunch of runs, and the fact that you have Shohei Ohtani and Michael Lorenzen pitching, so 2 of the better pitchers for each of these staffs. But nonetheless, 4 straight games in which we've seen these 2 head-to-head go over here. Back in September of 2022, a 10-0 game, a 5-4 game, and then a 5-4 game, so just barely going over. And then we already saw our game number 1 in this series go over 7-6 there. Couple days ago, and I'm taking the over in game number 1, if anything, because the total in game number 2 is 8.5. You know what I mean? So just a number value there, and I get it. 2 of the better pitchers are pitching in game number 1, but nonetheless, that's really the only thing that I'm considering here. So not to skip through this or blast through it. Maybe we'll throw out some player props via TikTok or Instagram Reels if we can find any value in this game. But yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments if you guys have anything that you like in this game or in these games for these 2, because I'm having trouble finding it. And you guys know that I have this like scared little boy when it comes to scared little boy mindset when it comes to double headers. I'm like, anything could happen. And you guys roast me in the comments for it, or you tell me that I should make merch that says I hate double headers, which would be kind of funny. But nonetheless, over in game number 1 is going to be my only lean here, just because I do think that these 2 teams are trending in directions where they're scoring a decent amount of runs. Like, even Detroit's giving you a floor of 3 to 4 runs in their last 10 games or so, which is kind of like all you can ask for them if you're even looking at a total of 8 runs. All right, next up we got the Mets taking on the Nationals. Wow, Kodai Senga, I almost said Kenga, and I was like, well, who is Kenga? Gets the rock for the Mets. Clearly, we're not operating on all cylinders mentally this morning, but Senga's on the mound for the Mets, and on the mound for the Washington Nationals here is going to be Josiah Gray. I'm going to trust the Mets here. I think that they are, kind of in the ruts here. In terms of their last 6 games, they've lost 4 of them, which you're kind of like, well, why the heck are you betting them there? Because this Nationals team is fraudulent. I don't really buy into the fact that they've won 5 of their last 6 games here. They've played some bad teams. The Cubs didn't really give them a good series, and they still won one of the Cubs won 2 of the 3 there, right? And they played San Francisco. San Francisco, who knows what they're doing right now? And they took 2 of 3 against Colorado. So I don't want to look at this and say, oh, wow, Washington for plus 170? Yippee, yippee. No. If anything, I'm leaning towards the Mets here. The only problem is they are near minus 200, minus 196 over on FanDuel right now. So a little bit too much juice to be playing with. So this is probably a Mets or pass for me, and that juice is probably going to make me pass. But I'm kind of talking myself off of the potential for this Washington. I could see a lot of people liking Washington today because it's easy to look at and say, wow, they've won 5 of the last 6 games and they're plus 170. And, Josiah Gray has a decent name, and he's not having the worst of seasons. They have won 3 of his last 5 starts here. He's got a 1.8 ERA in his last 5 starts. So, I could see people kind of getting all over him, but I'm sticking away from it. So it is juicy. This is a weird slate. Don't force anything today, guys. Minus 196 is a lot to be paying, and I don't know if I'd necessarily trust the Mets on the run line here at minus 1.5. The total, though, sitting at 9. I could see this one going up and over. Washington has been scoring a lot of runs. Again, it was against San Francisco and Colorado, so don't put too much weight into that. But the Mets, on the other hand, too, they're very inconsistent with their run scoring, but they are scoring 6 runs, and then all of a sudden 1 run. Then they score 9 runs, and then last game they scored 1 run. So they're kind of on trend. If they stick with that little roller coaster pattern, they are looking at a game in which they could score a decent amount of runs today. So if Washington gives you 4, I think the Mets give you 5, and you're already at 9 there. Just give me 1 run from either side, and you end up cashing the over. So I do like the over. It's probably something that I would play more likely than this minus 195 in the Mets, because I can't get myself to pull the trigger on the Mets run line. All right, next up, we got St. Louis taking on the Cubs here. Cubs minus 110 on the road is going to be my money line lean here. They have won 7 of their last 8 games here, so they are playing good baseball. They had that win yesterday, coming from behind to take it, so hopefully that doesn't sort of hinder them in a late night game yesterday playing in this one. But they have Steele on the mound, who is a better pitcher by far than Miles Mikolas, and the last 5 games would look the same as well. They've won 4 of his last 5 starts here, and he's got a 2.4 ERA during that stretch. The only thing that could get to us here, and I'll just give you guys this context, it doesn't put me off of taking the Cubs, but this St. Louis bullpen is definitely better, or has been pitching better, I should say, as of late than the Cubs bullpen. And then you have a late game with the Cubs using relievers yesterday. So if the Cubs get up early, I hope they can hang on to it, but I don't think that they're going to end up winning this one late if they aren't up early. So I think they gotta capitalize on Steele pitching well, and they got to get to Mikolas early, and then hopefully their bullpen can hang on. Then in terms of the total, 9 runs here, I like the under ever so slightly. We've seen the Cubs scoring a bunch of runs, but like I said, I do expect them to win, but I just think that there's going to be a little sigh of relief after last night's game. A come from behind 10-7 win that finishes late in the night there. And St. Louis has been super inconsistent with their scoring. 2 of their last 3 games have been double digits, which is a lot of runs, obviously, but they have so many, 1-run game, 2-run game, 3-run games this season, too. They even had a 1-run game in between those 2 double-digit scoring games, so I'm kind of expecting everyone to just, take a breather in this game, and we see a game that's 5-3, something like that, which it's not a low-scoring game per se, but it sticks under that 9, and I'm hoping that Steele can be a big part of that, going in and kind of shutting down this St. Louis team who has batted lefties really well as of late. Kind of scares me, but I'm trusting Steele in the sense that he is a talented, very good pitcher. All right, Cleveland taking on Chicago here. And I'll tell you what, Cleveland plus money right now over on DraftKings, or even money, plus 100, seems like it might be some sort of a trap. They're 6-4 in their last 10 here. The White Sox have only won 3 of their last 10. They've lost 5 straight games. They were in that same Chicago game that I'm talking about, could have depleted the Cubs last night. You do have 2 good pitchers on the mound, and Dylan Cease and Tanner Beebe. So my mind immediately goes to the under 8.5. We'll see if we pull the trigger on that, but I'm looking at Guardians all day long here. Cleveland for even odds, playing good baseball right now. I can't really seem to pass that up. Now, I will say, and you guys know I'm all about throwing in the caveats of the teams you played. They are coming off a series against Kansas City, so 2 of those wins that I'm talking about, the 6 of their last 10, were against Kansas City, but they also took an L against Kansas City, so those kind of even out record-wise. Even outside of that, you're talking about a team outside of that record that had won 4 of their last 7 games. So, give credit where it is due in that sense. And again, I just like the fact that we're looking at Cleveland, a team that's playing good baseball. They have Tanner Beebe on the mound, who I trust. White Sox bullpen, maybe a hair better, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be a starter showdown. And give me Beebe against Dylan Cease. Beebe in his last 5 starts here, a .8 ERA. He's let up 4 runs in those last 5 starts, and he's pitching deep into games as well. So shout out to him. But guys, that is going to conclude today's video. And by the way, if I had to rank, this is very easy to do. Like, Cleveland money line is probably my number 1 lean of the day here. That's got a strong chance of being a final play, by the way. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. It's a quick one. If you're still watching right now, comment 11, because we're about to come up on the 11-minute mark. And go cop some Fade Me merch if you do want to support the channel and the growth and everything that we're doing here, guys. And thank you to everyone that has purchased so far. It does mean the world, as I get choked up at the end of the video, but it does mean the world to me if you guys consider to, go ahead and purchase something. So head over there, use that link in the description or the pinned comment. 20 fade, 20% off, and I'm refunding 1 random person's order today. But yeah, comment 11 if you're still watching. I just threw a lot of you at the end of the video, but diarrhea of the mouth right now. Let's close this out before I say anything stupid, but we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.